Hey guys, Maewtt here, and today I'm going to show you some of the footage and text messages I got from the Tinder prank that I did a while back. But before that, I want to start on a light note, and here's someone I actually matched with back in New York on Tinder, and she actually recognized me from my real life C video, so I just thought I'd show that there to start this off on a light note, because there's going to be a lot of inappropriate language in this, so why not keep things happy at the beginning? Now, some of you may be wondering, Maewtt, how do you do this? Doesn't everyone reverse image search and ask for Snapchat these days? Well, sort of. Three guys did do a reverse image search and realized I was fake from doing that. And most of the guys, I'd say about like 70 to 75% of the guys I talked to, did ask for Snapchat. And that's a very smart thing of them to do. However, I'm smarter. So basically what I did was, when they asked for Snapchat, I'd say something like, oh, I don't give that out until after the first date. There have been too many experiences in the past where guys have sent me dick pics unwanted. And believe it or not, it worked 95% of the time. Like, literally, 95% of the time I said they'd all go white knight and start being like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. You know, it's like, it worked. So if any of you ever want to try and pull this off, if a guy asks you for Snapchat, just say that you don't give it out until after the first date because of dick pics, and it'll almost always work. And so that's how I was able to get like 40 guys to go into one location. Of course, some guys didn't even ask for Snapchat, which made things a lot easier. Take this guy, for example. This was our entire conversation. That's it. That's all of it. It was literally that easy. It was like shooting fish in a barrel. And the sad part is, like, that was what it was like for 15 to 20% of the guys. So, again, if anyone ever wants to do this, it's literally not that hard to get people to show up. So this was one of the more suspicious guys. And, you know, he asked for Snapchat. I used my excuse to not give it to him, and he sort of bought it, but, like, he was still suspicious, and I just kind of, like, played along, you know, that was just going to be me and him until he actually got to the restaurant. And all he said was lies, and then that was the end of it. So nothing really special with this guy, but I promise you there's better ones coming up. Now, this guy was an interesting case. So basically what happened was, you know, he shows up at the restaurant and he notices that it's packed because, you know, there's like 39 other guys there. And somehow he didn't realize what was going on. He ended up actually getting a table and getting food. And then I basically had to tell him, you know, like, after a while I kind of felt bad since, like, the food there isn't exactly cheap. So I kind of felt bad and explained to him, you know, what I did. And he was a pretty good sport about it. So, you know, good for him. So anyways, I feel like now would be a good time to show you the footage. It's not very good, but still, like, if you're in the restaurant, you know, it's like, how did he not notice this? Wait. Alright, so here's where things start to get good. So this guy, Noah, he wasn't too happy with what I did, and he made that pretty clear. And after, you know, he lets me know that, he asks the classic question everyone always asks when I troll them. Why'd you do it? What's the point? And so I tell him, it's for a YouTube video and it's funny. And, you know, it's the same thing I always tell people on Mindplex whenever they ask why I trolled them. And then he's like, you probably shouldn't upload that on YouTube. It might make finding you and making an anti-prank easier. So, you know, the guy was basically threatening me. And so, you know, people like this, you know, are basically the reason why I waited so long to upload this video. Like, you know, I'm just worried that, like, if I prank someone in my hall and they're like, no, I hear, you know, I'll have a bad time this semester, so to speak. Anyways, let's move on to the next guy. So here's another quick little one where the guy realized pretty quickly and just sent one simple message. And this guy was also good sport, so that was pretty nice. So here's another guy that was good sport. And he actually was surprised I was there. And, you know, he congratulated me for pointing out the prank. And he even offered to be a cameraman for future pranks, which, you know, I thought was pretty cool, and I may take him up on that. This guy was late to the date, and I ended up having to explain, or like give him a hint as to what I did. And he realized and thought that was a pretty cool prank, and that was it. Now, before you ask, yes, this guy's name is Salamander. Believe it or not, it's not the weirdest name that I found in Utah. Anyways, this guy ends up actually getting early, and he ends up buying food. And however, he was close enough to the door where he could see all the guys, you know, and what was going on with them. And he appreciated the lesson I taught him, or maybe that was sarcastic. And he says, you know, what goes around comes around, tells me I should stop doing that before my karma catches up with me. I actually kind of felt bad for trolling this guy. He's a former missionary who had to like come home early because like he had health problems or something. I forgot whether he got hurt or got sick or something, but he had to go home early, and it really bummed him out. And then he did this to him, so I honestly felt bad for trolling him. And he was also a really nice guy when I was talking to him, so even when he found out what was going on, he didn't like swear at me. He just said, he was disappointed. I feel bad. Here's another good sport, and I actually enjoy talking to him the most because we actually had a conversation about like, what happened when they all realized it was me. And so, according to him, once they all realized it, they head out the door, and apparently like some of the guys, according to him, look kind of bummed, and apparently he said that it didn't look like they got out much, and he felt so bad he wanted to buy one of them tacos, and I honestly thought it was pretty funny. But oh yeah, he also said to send him a link to the YouTube video when it gets up, but I think I deleted this profile, so sorry, Zach. So here's another one of the guys that was suspicious, and I think the only reason he ended up seeing me was because like it was Friday night and no one else had asked him on a date, or he didn't ask anyone else. So I guess he figured even if I was a catfish, it's not like he had anything better to do. And so sure enough, he thanked me for reaffirming everything about life that he knew, and I honestly felt bad for him when he sent me that because it's like I hope like he's fine now. And finally, here's the guy that I'm pretty sure like told everyone, or at least like started the chain reaction of all the guys figuring out, I was a catfish. So according to him, he saw someone else on their phone messaging my profile, and my profile was named May, short for Maewtt. Anyways, so needless to say, he wasn't too happy with what I did, just like most people would. Anyways, to wrap off the video, I thought I'd give you guys this. This also happened back in New York, and it's me getting catfish. This actually happened before I did this. So I guess, the guy who said what goes around comes around technically was right. But I just think it was funny how my Steve costume saved me from getting catfished and, myself. Anyways, just a few more things I want to mention in this video. One of the other guys I catfished was a basketball player who had actually beaten our school's team the same day I catfished him. And not only did I catfish him, but he brought one of his teammates there for a double date. And I thought it was pretty hilarious that, I sort of got revenge for our basketball team. But honestly, if I had to do that every time our basketball team lost, I'd probably be doing this thing every week. Also, there's another prank like this I want to do either here or when I get home. Basically, what the prank would be is, a girl would make a Tinder profile, get a bunch of guys to meet up at the same restaurant. However, they'd meet one at a time, like 15 minutes apart from each other. And, I'd be in a dress and in a wig and have my back to the door. And then, like, the person would tell them I'm wearing whatever, girl clothes I'm wearing and stuff. And I'd also have, like, my beard fully grown out, or I'd have a fake beard, depending on, when I do this. And someone would be in the restaurant recording me from like the side. And so the idea would be, they come to the restaurant, see the girl they're looking for. Then when like they like come by, I turn around and just shout, "Howdy," like in a really loud voice, just like startle them. And then like have someone record their reaction. And have the guys come one at a time and have like a cameraman, to reduce the chances I get beat up or something. And I wouldn't tell them about each other so that they don't ruin the prank for each other. But tell me what you think of the idea below, and please like, share, and subscribe for more.